Hello boys and girls, welcome back to my channel. My name's Piper. Today I feel like doing color. What day don't I feel like doing color? I felt like rocking some reds and yellows, and I'm going to play with some of what I have. What I will tell you is if you are not into makeup and you're drawn to it, sometimes having so much stuff is not a good idea. So hard to choose. So hard to choose when there's so many options. But I digress. And then when I go and look for everything, I'm like, oh, I should show them this. Oh, I should show them this. Oh, they need to see this. Oh, that would look cool. Oh, this would look cool. We're just going to do the damn thing and go on from there. So this is what you got. All right. So we're going to get started right now. All right, so I do not do my face first. It is not my go-to. I did my eyebrows off camera already, and of course, you know I use my It Cosmetics Universal Taupe Brow Pencil, and then my Brow Gal brow gel, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, so I already did that because who wants to see brows done a million times? And now we're going to do my lids. Why that was difficult to say, I have no flipping clue. So I am not a wasteful person, and it takes a lot for me to throw something away that I don't need or that I don't want, and half the time I'll give it to somebody. But I'm not a big fan of the Urban Decay Primer Potion, and this is the original one. I'm not a huge fan. It says long-lasting eyeshadow base, and I've told y'all before, I don't feel like it really does the trick like a concealer does on your eyes. But I'm trying to not be wasteful, and it is nearly gone, so we're going to use it today. All right. Base is down. Not sponsored by Core, but Core, I'll totally sponsor you. Not sponsor. Upsell, whatever, I don't know. But this is my own water in here. I use the bottles to refill. Like I said, today I wanted to do some reds and yellows. Okay, so we have... These are the ones I have. This one is by Lethal Cosmetics. It is called Transmutation. Then there is this beautiful orange, which is a fire orange. I honestly don't remember where it's from. This one is a lime green, even though it looks like a yellow, it's a lime green. And this is called One Night Stand. It is by Looksy Beauty. And then this one right here is called Lick It, Slam It, Suck It by Looksy Beauty. Low Intense Layer. Again, I forget what these two are from. I think they're ColourPop's old stickers on the back. I believe. Can you see it? Not sure. So I'm pretty sure that's kind of what that is. I also have the NYX Primal Colors in Hot Red to play with, and you know, I'm kind of torn because I was like, okay, well, if I'm doing a red and an orange and a yellow, I'm going to use some of the Naked Heat palette because I haven't used it in a while and I really liked it because this palette is gorgy. And then I was like, well, what about yellows? If I'm doing that, then I might want to use this yellow here. This is too gold. I'm not going for that today. But I might use this right meow, actually. And other than that, I'm kind of staying in the same color scheme, and we'll go from there. Everything else is kind of up in the air. I'm not sure yet. So we're going to start before the day is over, and I'm going to take one of these big brushes right here. Okay. Just take one of my taper blending brushes, and, you know, who has time to clean the brushes? I clean them every once in a while. Okay, so a little powdery, but that's okay. I'm just going to slightly put it in this crease and see how that goes. See, this is the main thing I do not like about the Urban Decay primer potion, is because it's supposed to make things stick to it, but I feel like once I use it, you can see like I look older. I mean, I'm already aging, but it's almost like it dries my eyes out. Do you see? And I really don't like it. I don't like how we're starting out. So, I think I've officially decided I'm going to throw this away. I'm going to wash this off and we're going to start over. Alright, so I have returned. I don't know what that little red dot is. Okay. Try to get it off as much as possible. Feel like it really coats your, I don't know. So instead, y'all know I love my Wet n Wild concealer on my eyes, but today we're going to do the Brightening Creamy Concealer, Dream, Maybelline New York 20 Light. That's what we're going to do. I haven't used it because I didn't use it as a concealer, so let's see if the smaller will help with the shadows. Let's see how that goes. You know, it's funny, I thought I was the only one that kind of complained about makeup getting on my contacts, and today was the first time I heard Jay Kissa talk about how she doesn't wear her contacts when she puts on makeup because she doesn't want to get it, or when she does her videos because she doesn't want to get it in her eye. But I got to say what I'm doing. But I was fine up until I washed my eyeball. Well, not my eyeball, whatever. Moving on, wasting time. So we're going to go back in with this matte metal palette by Kat Von D with the color Feather and see how it works this time. I'm going to go into Bone and cover the top with a bigger brush. Much better. Ultimately, this was not what I wanted to start with, but I wanted to get an idea of the layout of the land. I'm just going to move forward with my original plan, and I'm going to go in with this lime green here. I believe it was ColourPop. I'm trying to think of what other company I bought from. Moving on. Okay, so we're going to go into the lime green and see what that looks like. And yeah, pretty sure this is a ColourPop. Oh, that's pretty. I'm liking this. Oh no, I love my bright colors. Now I'm starting to see the green. I don't know, I might just rock this, but I have a plan. This took me too long to put together, so I'm doing it. It's gonna look crazy. Now I wanted to go into some of that orange color right there, and I think I'm going to go into this orange and see. Ooh, it's pretty dusty. It's okay, let's see what this looks like. Does look more lime green with that orange near it. I'm just gonna fade this in here, no rhyme or reason. I think often the reason why I don't even consider giving straight up tutorials on what I'm doing is because half the time I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just wing it. Pick some colors and go. Pretty much. If I can get a little closer to you, you can see what the hell I'm doing. Look at where it's at on the sticky side. Pretty pigmented. It's starting to look kind of red. Looks pretty just like that. Pop a green on the bottom. I have a knack for colors. Can you tell? Now see, some shadows do this little ditty whenever you put a powder on top of whatever the concealer is or the primer, eyeshadow primer and all that. But that's why with certain shadows I will work on keeping the bottom part sticky so that it does do what it's supposed to do, because all shadows need some form of finesse. You know what I mean? And there's another option, is you could probably just take a brush that's like this, you know, a thinner brush, and then specifically go into this over here, but I'm not as worried because this side's gonna get taken care of in a different way. So let's just see some of it. It's fine. I feel like putting it on top of the green keeps the fire look, but it's a little choppy. But again, that might be completely due to the concealer I put on my lid, so let's not dwell on that right there. Now that I've done those two colors, my goal really is I wanted to put the red on the bottom part and then top it off with the this one right here, and then a black in the corner, and see what that looks like. So that's what we're kind of going for. Alright, so we're going to go in with this hot red on the lid, and for this I am going to go back into, I'm going to use my new eyeshadow brush N15 by Miss Glam. I love this brush, it's so pretty. I'm drooling. Okay, not a lot of fallout here, but you know, it's also to be expected a little bit at least with NYX. And go back in here. This one is a little red once you get it on. It looks, I mean pink. It does look a little pink. Okay. Yeah, it's a little choppy. It is not the eyeshadow though, I tell you. It is the bottom part. So let's, looks more red in the pan than it really is. Okay, see? Also, here's a tip for you. If you cannot afford more expensive shadows, you can always make the cheaper ones work better with the technique that I use with the concealer and using a sticky base. It works every time. So that's why whenever I hear people talk about how certain eyeshadows were horrible, they weren't as pigmented, blah 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 blah, it doesn't mean it's a bad palette. It just means that you need a sticky base to make the colors pop. There are some really bad ones, I'm not gonna lie, there are some bad palettes, but you don't necessarily have to buy an expensive palette to get a good color, a good shade. I think how you lay it down really matters more than anything else. So with that said, I want you to know that you can make whatever you have work. And I don't think I've ever heard anybody talk about that on these channels. But you can. You can make it work. It's as good as it's gonna get. I am gonna go back in and do a little bit more orange so that it still pops out. Go back in here. I know it wipes off half the red, but sometimes you just gotta go with it. The best mistakes sometimes end up pretty awesome, so I guess I'm gonna go with it. Okay, so we're gonna go back in with this color here from Looksy Beauty and kind of put it on the middle here. See how that turns out. Maybe it makes it stick a little bit better. Yeah, it's a little bit darker. It's okay. It'll work. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now there's several different ways you can do this with a sticky base, or you can wet a brush and try it. I'm gonna try that here in a second. See what that looks like. But I'm going for a not so perfect look, I guess. The red, at least. Now I'm going to use my Pixie Vitamin Wake Up Mist and wet this brush. Just because I like the smell of it. Works. Oh yeah. That's much better than even my finger. This color is supposed to be super red and it's not. It's like a burgundy. I swore I had a more red. Guess not. Bummer. Even if your base isn't that great, it's all about trying to figure out technique to make it work. It's just going to take a little bit more time. And I don't know about you, but I ain't got a ton of time, but I love being creative, so I get stuck doing this more often than I really should, to be quite frank with you. Okay, so I am just blending and using my fingers, using pretty much everything. That concealer was not my go-to. I think I'm gonna stick with my Wet n Wild. And well, maybe it's not quite that. I mean, it is more solid than the Wet n Wild. Wet n Wild is a little bit more creamier. This is not as wet, I guess. So it doesn't work for me. But again, I set the concealer with a powder, and usually if you set with a powder, you can use the more higher end pigmented creamy shadows rather than these other ones that may not be the greatest, and they might be great companies even, but not the greatest of shades or formulas, which I'm sure if this is exactly what I think it is, there are much better versions of these now, and yeah, I'm just going to keep trucking. And even though I have my Naked Heat, I think ultimately I'm just going to stick with the colors that I have now, because this might change what I'm going for. So, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and do my lower lash line, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to use this. And that looks crazy, but there's a reason to my madness. I'm going to go back into the Lottie London, and I am going to start smoking out the bottom lashes. So we're going to go into the orange. Clearly it's looking more red and NYX than anything else. Just not what I intended. There's a reason for my madness. Oh, I'm going to bring this little pencil brush right here and put that over there. Go back into this lime green. Alright. Last one I wanted to do is the black. We're gonna, these are really pigmented and they have a very strong scent, so if you have allergies like I do, be careful. So barely any fallout. Look at that, coated. All right, here we go. Whoa. That is a black. That is a highly pigmented black. This was a clean brush. Ooh. And it stays. Look at that. Daytime, nighttime. Then I'm going to take a clean brush again, cleaner brush, and blend up here, as I always do. this right here one. Like I said, it takes a little finesse sometimes. And, you know, because that's where you're at. You do what you can. Okay, so I want to put this one in the inner corner and see what that looks like. So I'm going to take this other little brush that I have and let's wet it just because I can. Definitely what I wanted. Okay, I always wondered why they said wet your brush and it never popped like theirs did. It's because you put the powder on the brush first and then spray it. Wow. Difference. Yep. Major difference. Looks crazy, I know. Hang with me. We'll get there. Is next. We're gonna do eyeliner. Okay. I have my Dose of Colors Hit the Road. I also have my Jeffree Star. And then I have black liner. Then I also have other lipsticks over here of Jeffree Stars we can use. Red Rum and Checkmate. Red Rum might be nice. For some reason I feel like black is going to bring it together though. It needs a pop of color, so. And I never use the yellow, so let's do this. Let's do this ColourPop yellow. In Punch. There's an eyeliner. Oh yeah, there we go. Too much red on my eyes, so let's go with a black. Really awesome. Let's start with black first, though. Never like just one. I'm using this Clinique Pretty Easy liquid eyelining pen. Not usually the best over really thick eyeshadows. Prefer my e.l.f. And bled in the middle. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Alright, I forgot how much that Clinique one bleeds. Ugh. Because I roll like that. Let's do this. And we'll take a little bitty thing like this, and we're going to dot it right here. too late to go back now. Too late to go back now. So, might as well. Weird, but cool, and I like weird. We're gonna just go with it. Seriously. It's horrible. Okay, so I've decided I don't like it. It looks really bad. It's not bad, I don't think. It's horrible. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I'm just gonna do this. That was a bad idea. But this is what happens, you know, I mean, I'm just gonna go over with this here black. Ooh, my tummy. Well, I think I'm going to be throwing that Jeffree Star yellow one away. It's horrible. I don't think I've ever even worn it on my lips because I hate it so much. Yep. Alrighty. Now, mascara, because I'm about over this. Had an idea. It was a pretty cool idea. Went downhill real fast. And it's getting dark. And it's the middle of the day. So, yeah. I've already fucked off too long. Alrighty then. I'm going to skip all of it. I was going to try to use this NYX crystal liner. But no. And I'm going to comb out my lashes. Alright, so I haven't tried this yet. This is the Unleashed Volume and Curl Mascara by Wonder Beauty. And I have not tried it yet, so that's a humongous wand. Please be good. I don't want to be screwing up my makeup. Alright. I like how it coats it. It's thicker. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I like it. This is really weird to be down with a mascara the very first use, but I'm liking it. Alright. I'm a fan of these of this mascara for sure. I'm gonna have to look this up. Oh, it's fine. Alright. Okay. La, 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 la. So the eyes are done. What does that mean? It means I'm done. Alright, now, so I have went and put some of my stuff up and kind of wiped off my lower half to clean up the excess shadows a bit. It's going to get better here in a second though. So now is whenever I start my routine for my skin. That's a shadow, it looks like eyeshadow. As you can see, I have discoloration now as I've gotten older, and I can't help it, so that's what I'm stuck with, and this is what you see. Now, usually what I start with is protecting my skin, and I have been using this First Aid Beauty 5-in-1 face cream. It's got SPF 30 in it. It's supposed to work to reduce the appearance of wrinkles, help your skin tone, nourish, moisturize, keep your skin safe, and all that jazz. Yeah. So I'm going to, and then the other thing I'm going to use is a Perfect World SPF 20. It's for it's eye cream made with white tea, and it has SPF 20. I think I just said that, but I'm going to go ahead and do this because I feel a little poofy right now, which is a rarity, really, but I'm going to do so. And moisturize. Now, I don't normally do foundations and stuff all the time, but lately, since I've been protecting my skin from the sun, I find that a lot of these things that I put on my face, I can't live with them just staying by themselves because it feels gross or it itches. It's weird. Usually the more SPF, the more sun damage. I mean, the more SPF in the lotion, the more I itch, which is weird, especially in the heat. So I have to put something on, and I usually stick with kind of powders, which work out too. But, you know, I've been trying to mess with some things. I will tell you with this one though, I can walk outside and this doesn't feel gross. It looks it looks kind of sunscreeny, but it's really not. I quite like it. It smells nice, and that's what I've been using. I am going to try the Smashbox Studio Skin 24-Hour Waterproof Concealer. This sucker right here, I got it in one of my boxes, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Makeup Revolution Fast Base Stick Foundation. This one's F1, and this one is F4 for a little bit darker. Possibly what I'm going to use for some contour. And yeah, so normally I use a beauty blender with this, but I've had this brush for, feels like forever, and I've never used it, and I don't know if this is something people use with only the liquids, or do you do it with some of the sticks? I'm kind of curious to venture out. Usually I would think liquids, but I've seen people use it with others, so we're going to do both, and one side one, and just kind of go from there. I also have this Natural Radiance from MAC, and I don't know exactly what it's supposed to do, so we're gonna just add it anyway. Can always use more protection. Nice. Natural Radiance Prep and Prime Radiant Yellow. It's illuminating base. Okay, well, my skin looks pretty snatched. Yeah, know what they say? Yeah. Alright, moving on. So we're gonna move on to the next thing and to the next thing. Alright. Okay. I don't know. Not very light. For me, at least. Kind of yellow. I got some dark circlage going on down here, so. And then right after, usually what I do is go in with the stick foundation. I think I'm going to put some of this Reveal Concentrated Luminizing Drops by Algenist in here. I've been trying to mix it in with some things that I do. It is very, very, very shiny, but you know, look at that. I feel like we need a little glow on top of this stuff. See what goes on? Ooh, it is turning yellow. Good. Okay. I'm probably doing it totally wrong, but Whatever, let's try to do this here concealing, not concealing, stick. What I usually do. Oh. Oh. I like this F1. This one is much darker. This one over here is F4. I would use for like a contour. It is pink. That's not contour, but all right, let's go back to the brush. I don't hate it. So let's do this other side with my beauty blender. Okay, so this is the brush side, and this is the beauty blender side. Which is better? I almost want to say it's the brush side. And we are going to use my Laura Mercier. And then I just take this little brush right here by Luxie and okay. Now this one's more prominent on this side than this, I guess because of the blending, because of my beauty blender. And today I'm going to use my highlight and contour palette by IBY Beauty. I'm this first one, and we're going to kind of just go in. Well, let's use this little bitty brush. It's supposed to be for contour. We'll see what that is. There's like nothing there anyway. This is not normal, so just trying things out. I imagine I'm like making a sideburn, really. That's what I'm doing. One of these lighter colors, let's say these one, and then go oh yeah. Now I'm just playing. Now we're gonna move on to blush. What's blush got to do with it? What's blush but a second-hand emotion? What's love got to do with it? Who needs a heart? Okay. Oops. We'll move to blush. Oh, yeah. I'm going to use this BH Cosmetics Glamorous Blush 10 color palette, which I like. Ugh. Now, I wanted to go with a bright red, but now I'm starting to think maybe not so much. Maybe a little bit more natural. Let's go with this one. I don't even know what it is. There's not a name. And I'm going to use this lovely Morphe E4. do like the E4. Perfect. All right, now, best part, highlighter. So I grabbed this NYX Holographic Hollow in Arctic Crush, which is kind of like a, what is that called? Pink heart, but in a cream. So like this. And I thought that might actually work out, so I'm just going to pat it on my skin like this. That is pretty. Oh yeah. Alright, so for my last trick, I wanted to utilize the Aurora palette by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And my favorite isn't the Eclipse over here. I really, really, really love it. But I was thinking more of the Lyra for my other highlights. And I'm just going to kind of check out what I got going on here. So here's the Lyra, which will be right here. And then this one will be Eclipse. It is slightly different. Let's see. Can you tell? I'm so white, you can't even tell. So clearly a little bit deeper. There we go. So more than likely this one. It looks more orange. So Lyra is the one that I was most definitely going to concentrate on. So let me get my little thing here. So the next thing I usually do is a setting spray, and I didn't even bring it in here, I brought everything else, and then a lipstick. But I have several different versions, reds, pinks. Usually I would start with just like a chapstick. Alright, boys and girls, I am back. I would love to say I just threw on some lashes, but it takes me a little bit of time to do that. But I did get to try on these Baddington lashes, and I really do like them. They are kind of a little case like this. They're so cute. These, what kind are these? Monroe 3D Silk Lashes. Now I'm really particular if I wear lashes because I don't like the idea of doing this. It feels like that sometimes, so they have to be sitting up just right. And I also have extremely sensitive eyes. So the only lash glue that I can use is the Strip Lash Adhesive with Aloe. It is by Kiss. This one is very good for my eyes, and it doesn't cause any of those other issues. Now, I do still feel like I'm like with these lashes, but I felt like the look needed a little bit more going on. Like I said, I didn't finish with my setting spray, and we have some lipsticks to go through, so we're going to knock that out. Now, I am going to do my NYX Matte Finish setting spray here, and now I'm going to do my Pixie Hydrating Milky Mist. It is the bomb. If you haven't tried it, you should. I'm almost out. Then I take my little poofy and I massage it in. Don't feel as wet as I normally am. I don't feel as wet as I normally am. pee. Probably because of the fan. It is in all, it's all in my hair now. Wonderful. Excellent. Great. Ladies, you have to be really careful, ladies and men. If you go too close to the water line, it will do what it's doing now. So, all right. So the first one, I have so many different colors. I think I'm just going to start off with my Burt's Bees tinted lip balm. And because I put on lipstick, but I don't keep it on because I may look all fancy like that, but I don't. I'm not that kind of girl. So, the only thing I don't like about this is that you can't just put it on the go because you have to, it's tinted, so. And there you have it. So, you could go with something as simple as this and call it a day. Kind of what I would normally do, maybe not the lash. If one day I get comfortable wearing lashes, I might do it more often. I like the look. Took a little longer, well, very long. Took too long. But that's what happens whenever you just playing with stuff, really. I thought I had a goal in mind, but it didn't work out. And go with this. I've not tried it before. Mini Lipstick by Finding Ferdinand. I don't even. All natural. It's a little bitty thing. Alright, so it's little like this. Ooh, it even has the F's on it. Okay, I like it. You know, I have to say I have yet to have found a nude that I like, and a lot of the pinks that I get that are supposed to match my my lips, they're too pinky, and this is really nice. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I do like it. We're gonna go with this Makeup Forever, and ooh, that's really dark. What's the color? Rouge Matte. All right, this is the Rouge Matte by Makeup Forever, and the first time I put this on, I didn't quite do it right. And I will say, this does make my teeth look whiter. I like that. Sure diddly do. What do you think? All right. I have a dark red here. Doesn't quite go. I have a bright red which matches this one. This one's by Ciate London. So we have this one, which I think is to die for. Then we have Checkmate by Jeffree Star, which is more orangey. And then we have Red Rum. So we have these three. So we have Ciate London. Come on, focus. So the first one is the Ciate London Liquid Velvet and Diva, which looks very similar to the Jeffree Star Red Rum. I think they're exactly the same, to be honest. They look slightly different in the bottle, but they match on here. And then Checkmate is a little bit more orange, and that would kind of, I think Checkmate would match. We're going to do Checkmate first. Ooh. Slightly flawed, but you know, I'm not perfect. You know what? I feel like being Canadian today, too. We're going to rock some Canadian earrings. I'm not Canadian, but you know what? I bought these because I liked them, and I haven't worn my dangly earrings in a very long time, so I'm going to do it. So if you're Canadian, what's up, eh? It's probably super racist? It's not racist. It's not a race. It's a... Is it a race? Not a race. It's a culture, right? I feel like we need to do red rum. I haven't done it. So that's what we're doing. Okay? Okay. I don't care what anybody says. I can rock a red lipstick all day, day. All day, day. Again, I don't think anybody is really like perfect at lipstick anyway. I don't know. Maybe the people that make lipstick. So this is the complete and final look. What do you think? Do you like it? Do you like the different lipsticks? Which one would you choose? I am curious. Let me know. Clearly you wouldn't spend as much time on makeup, but you know, that's what you get. Alright, boys and girls, that is it for this video. It is going to be the longest thing ever. Of course, I say that every single time. It's because I get wrapped up in, am I good enough? Well, this is as good as it gets. And I have played around enough, and this lash is driving me nuts so much that it is making my eye all watery, and it's going up in there, which is not very attractive. So, with that said, it's time to go. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and like my video and tell people about me and stuff like that, you know, spread me around. Don't mind the kitty. She thinks she can get on my boxes, and she don't own this place. I lie, she does. She owns me. But with that said, I would say I could totally have made this look a lot faster had I not been playing around, had I not had contact issues, had I not had a kitty jumping on my frickin' boxes. But also, had I not used the base part of what I used for my eyeshadows and playing around with some of the colors, I think if it wasn't that difficult to blend them in and everything, considering what I did, then it wouldn't have taken so long. Too many flipping options, so I'm going to keep it simple because, yeah, this takes way too long, and now I have so much more to edit, and, you know, I need some more friends, so send them my way. I just pick what I think will go really good together, and I kind of go with it. So, but that's not always how it ends up. This was not the red I had intended, and y'all saw me fumble around with a couple of different things, and this is what I ended up with. So, yeah. What do you think? Leave me comments below, like I said, and I'll talk to you guys later.